years and years of litigation, a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court in 2019 ruled in the favor of the Hindu petitioners, viewers. And after that, as they say, the rest is history. So January 22nd next year will always go down as the day that marks Bharat's legal reclamation of its Hindu ethos in the shape of Lord Ram's legacy. Unfortunately, the moment is being soured, viewers, by the taint of politics. Hours after members of the panel set up to build the Ram temple announced that Prime Minister Modi would lead the consecration ceremony to install Ram Lalla's idol, that some members of the opposition India bloc declared that Ram was a myth, that the Hindu belief was an empty one, that the DMK-led charge in mocking Hindu belief is not surprising. For a while now, the Congress alliance partner has made its distaste with Sanatan Dharma quite apparent. In the not too distant past too, the DMK had questioned the existence of Ram, especially in 2007 when the Supreme Court was conducting hearings on the Ram Setu issue. At the time, the DMK was in alliance with the Congress at the centre, and the shipping ministry was under its charge. And the UPA, stunned by the fact that the DMK had actually questioned the existence of Ram, withdrew the affidavits that denied the existence of the Hindu deity. But now, viewers, in the present time, on this day, staring at a precarious political future in Tamil Nadu and perhaps across India, the Congress is yet to denounce the DMK for suggesting that Lord Ram is a myth. Now, viewers, this is a matter of faith. This is a matter of faith, and no political party, especially one committed to allegedly upholding secularism, should be going about challenging the faith of one particular community. If you have to, then do it across the board, or don't do it at all. Interestingly, viewers, the Congress party's chief minister's face in Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath, quickly distanced himself from the DMK statements. But Kamal Nath's damage control does nothing to hide the fissures within the India bloc over matters pertaining to Hindu sentiments. Yes, viewers, there is a problem. There is a deep fissure, and one doesn't quite know, viewers, how it's going to resolve itself. The Congress is promising Mohabbat ki Rajniti, but its allies give vent to hate against Sanatana. There is no other way of looking at it. Let me give you a few instances, viewers. Here are some hard facts that can't be denied. Rahul Gandhi says that it is the Hindu dharma to protect the weak. It's not wrong. But the DMK says, viewers, that Ram is a myth, not actual history. Now, viewers, who's going to protect the rights of those who believe that Lord Ram exists? Think about it. If you believe, if you espouse, Rahul Gandhi, a dharma which you say is to protect the weak, to protect others, their faith, etc., then how do you allow the DMK to get away by suggesting that Ram is a myth? Rahul Gandhi says Hinduism is against hatred and violence. But every day, viewers, there is someone from that bloc that goes out to violently denounce Hindu traditions and beliefs. Sanatan Dharma is like dengue and malaria for some, like Udayanidhi Stalin, Chief Minister Stalin's son. He's also a member of the DMK, an alliance partner of the Congress, viewers. Rahul Gandhi said, I'm a proud Shiv Bhakt. A Raja of the DMK says Sanatan Dharma is like leprosy and AIDS. Now, either you believe in Sanatan Dharma, or viewers, you think that Sanatan Dharma is like leprosy and AIDS. Can you believe it? Randeep Surjewala says Rahul Gandhi is a Janeyu-dhari Hindu. The DMK's K. Ponmudi comes out and says India bloc formed to defeat Sanatan Dharma. Now, viewers, you talk about protecting at the one level the belief systems of others, while your ally comes out to say that we are out to defeat Sanatan Dharma. Congress's, as I said, Chief Ministerial face in Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath, says, I'm a proud Hanuman Bhakt. The Samajwadi Party's member, Swami Prasad Maurya, says, and this is rather weird, viewers, he's booked for demanding a ban on the Ramcharitmanas. I mean, it's absurd. And these people are all part of one alliance. One alliance that says one thing on one given day and acts in a very different way on that same given day. Either the left doesn't know the right, or viewers, all of these are Chanavi Hindus, or worse, viewers, they are sworn to an appeasement politics, which is disingenuous. Kamal Nath says, no debate that India is a Hindu Rashtra. The RJD's Ritilal Yadav says, Ramcharitra Manas was written in a mosque. Because look at the absolute divergence over Sanatan Dharma within the India bloc. And it prompts us to ask a fair number of questions. Will the India bloc explain these various questions? And I'm going to prompt them on your screens so that you can internalize them and we can lead our debate on the back of these questions. Would India Alliance members dismiss religious figures of other faiths as myths? Will their viewers? If Congress vows Muhabbat, why does it tolerate hate from the India bloc against Hindus? What kind of Muhabbat is this? Is it conditional? This is a question, viewers, that many will ask after hearing this program. Can those who ignore slights against Hindu traditions call themselves secular, or even, viewers, Bhakts or Janyudhari Hindus? Do India Alliance members critique Hindu traditions to consolidate minority votes? Because that's what the BJP and others say. And there are many Hindus who also are using this term now, which has become quite the term, Chunavi Hindu. Are they all just Chunavi Hindus? Well, let's get to our big debate, brought to you, viewers, by Motorola. Let's put it out there. The big question.
Hello, Moto.
Let's open this up and let's begin tonight with the BJP's national spokesperson, Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, I want to ask you a simple and straightforward question. The opposition at different times challenges you on your commitment to the Ram temple. They say that yours was a political transaction. Let me begin by playing devil's advocate. Actually, not devil's advocate, but the advocate for the opposition. They're not devilish. In my book, they might be in yours, but some things that they say could be ascribed to their devil. But nonetheless, let me just ask you this, because it's a very important question, Sanju Verma. Are you only using Lord Ram and Hindu imagery, symbolism to win votes? That's what they say.
You know, Rahul, I'm perfectly fine with you playing the devil's advocate. And let me tell you that the BJP does not consider the opposition as devils. Unlike Randeep Singh Surjewala, who said that, you know, the BJP Bhakts and even BJP supporters are Rakshasas. Anyway, let's cut through the fluff and, you know, come straight to your very pertinent question. I'll just say this, that, you know, the construction of the Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir was pending for the longest time. I mean, if you go back to history, I would say it's not been pending for 500 odd years before the Supreme Court on the 9th of November 2019 in a unanimous verdict allowed the construction of the Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir at the disputed site, which the Hindus had always been claiming belonged to Ram Lalla. I think this dispute goes back to 1528 when the Ram Janmabhoomi temple, as it were, was desecrated. But we have the supporters of the likes of, you know, Babar claiming ki, you know, Narendra Modi and the BJP Bhakts are hell-bent on turning the clock and reclaiming something which was never theirs, because the Babri Masjid stood in place of the site where now the Bhavya Ram Mandir is coming up, and it was the Bhats who destroyed the Babri Masjid in 1992. So this is the brief history. But the fact that before the destruction of the Babri Masjid in 1992, in 1528, under the aegis of Babur, a temple was destroyed. That is something which people have developed selective amnesia about. I will just say this, ये जो secularism की आड़ में, if you look at, the basic narrative that has been peddled ever since Prime Minister Modi, who never shies away from wearing his Hindutva/Hinduism on his sleeves. In 2020, after the Supreme Court judgment in 2019, he laid the Shilanyas, the foundation stone of the Ram Janmabhoomi temple. The entire opposition started crying foul, saying, ये तो एक secular धर्म निरपेक्ष राष्ट्र है, and in a secular country, for the Prime Minister of the day, from the ruling party of the day, to be associating with a particular religion is blasphemy. I will not even go into the juvenile argument about, Sonia Gandhi or Manmohan Singh or Gyani Zail Singh hosting lavish iftar parties where the who's who of the opposition used to grace the occasion very generously. I will bring to your audience in 30 seconds just one moot point. The state should not have any religion, is what the 42nd amendment, which brought the word secular into the constitution, says. But the Prime Minister is not just the Prime Minister. Nowhere in the constitution is it mentioned that the first elected citizen of the state should not follow his or her astha. And I want to ask the opposition one thing. It's not about Ram Mandir, Rahul. If you look at Prime Minister Modi, way back in 2015, this is the same Prime Minister who went to Indonesia and visited the Grand Istiqlal Mosque. This is the same Prime Minister who in 2018 laid the foundation stone of the first ever Hindu temple to be built in UAE, over 50,000 square meters of land. And this is the same Prime Minister who in April 2022, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, celebrated with gay abandon and a lot of festivity the 400th birth anniversary of Guru Tegh Bahadur. This is the same Prime Minister who in December 2022, for the first time said that 26th December every year, please bear with me for 20 seconds. Every year 26th December will be celebrated as the Veer Bal Divas, in the honor of the sacrifice made by the Chote Sahibzades of Guru Gobind Singh. This is the same Prime Minister who has the audacity to wear his Hindutva on his sleeves, do the Aarti during Vijayadashmi in front of a 50,000 strong crowd. And this is the same Prime Minister who a few months back went to Egypt and visited the Al-Hakim Mosque, which by the way was rejuvenated at the insistence of Prime Minister Modi by the Indian Bora Muslim community. And this is the same Prime Minister, last but not the least, who in October 2021 also visited the Pope and embraced him with the same rigor, with the same astha that he does when he talks about Guru Tegh Bahadur, or he visits the Al-Hakim Mosque, or he gives a chadar at the Ajmer Dargah, or the same Prime Minister who's finally bringing to fruition a civilizational battle which the Hindus won thanks to Narendra Modi.
So the point being that he doesn't need certificates of secularism from anyone else. I think that's really what Sanju Verma is trying to say by reeling out all those examples, viewers, of Prime Minister's tolerance, his inclusivity, etc., etc. But let me just bring in Vivek Bansal, and then I want to go across to Dr. Ranganath. And first of all, I just want to very clearly state, viewers, that India is not dharma nirpeksh. It is panth nirpeksh. That's why the Constituent Assembly decided against including the word secular in the preamble in 1950. Indira Gandhi only introduced that word in 76. And that was for a wholly political reason, viewers. And this is a fact. This is a fact. In fact, L.M. Singhvi told Indira Gandhi that this is virtue signaling. And he advised her against. So the Hindi translation of the Constitution doesn't quite have that word, viewers. It talks about panth nirpekshta. Nonetheless, Let me just open this up because it's important, and I want to bring in Mr. Bansal, very learned Congress spokesperson here on the show. And I want to ask you, sir, would India alliance members dismiss religious figures of other faiths as myths? Deities, icons, gods of other faiths as myths? It's a very simple question to you. And those who are doing so, sir, what do you make of them? What do you make of the DMK that says Ram is a myth with such alacrity? Do you think they should be saying these things?
Can I start, Rahul?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Let me just tell you, the fact that whatever our constituents or alliance partner must have said, and subsequently, immediately, a clarification had come from Mr. Venugopal and other leaders as well. Mr. Venugopal mentioned it that we respect all religions and there is our belief in Ram and Mr. Rahul Gandhi has time and again reiterated his faith in Lord Ram and all the Hindu deities because they all subscribe to Hindu religion. So no disrespect. Definitely, whatever you see, there are contradictions in all alliances. Be it NDA alliance in UP, you may be finding there are contradictions are existing. So to say that we subscribe to his viewpoint, that's completely just, I think, blowing a thing out of proportion. Secondly, I would like to say that definitely our Prime Minister is inaugurating, good enough. And there is substantive point in the fact that people who sacrificed, who led this movement, how about Mr. Lalkrishna Advani, who faced cases all through for decades, and now he has been sidelined. They talk about Dalit president, that we have made a Dalit president. Be it inauguration of the parliament, she was nowhere to be seen, just a showcase. And now when the Ram Mandir is to be inaugurated, where is our honorable president? Don't you think that she should have been a part of it? And when we talk of inclusive politics, don't you think that opposition leaders should have been invited? It is a festive occasion for all people from all hues, all religion. This long-awaited temple is being constructed.
Okay.
So why not extend invitation to other political parties? So this in itself confirms the fact that you want to take political mileage out of it.
Okay.
And none other than that. So all these things reflect the fact that it's a preparation. Okay, people see things. People, Indian electorate is not. They have time and again proved their vision, their clarity.
Okay, but
On issues. Simply say that we are against, and you answer, or Madam Sanju Verma should answer. Why invitation has not been extended to?
Can I just point out something, Mr. Bansal?
Why our honorable president has not been
okay,
invited?
Mr. Bansal, one second. Mr. Bansal, 1 second. Just 1 second, Sanju Verma. Just a quick one. Mr. Bansal, let me just remind you, should the invitation be sent to the DMK, the RJD and the SP? Now, what does the RJD believe? RJD believes that the Ramcharitmanas... Excuse me, Mr. Bansal, please, just allow me.
Rahul Gandhi,
Allow me, sir. Allow me. Should it be extended to the Congress party that doesn't have the gumption to snap ties with the DMK, that is not just once, but on several occasions, even when you were, sir, in alliance? As I said, the date going back all the way to 2007 said that Ram doesn't exist, yet you're back in an alliance. And then you say that you regard very highly the legacy of Lord Ram. How do we believe you?
Mr. Rahul, let me just tell you that NDA, do you remember that DMK was in alliance with the NDA at a point of time?
Sir,
So,
sir, please. 1 second. Mr. Bansal. No, 1 second. Mr. Bansal, I asked you 3 questions. You've not answered any one of them. The first one, is the government obliged to invite people who don't recognize Lord Ram? They believe he doesn't exist. तो मंदिर में आके करेंगे क्या?
Exactly.
Number 1. एक मिनट में बात सुनिए. Second question मैंने आपसे पूछा, आपने जवाब नहीं दिया. I asked you, would with great alacrity India alliance members dismiss the religious figures of other faiths as myths? You haven't answered that question. You said,
No,
oh,
no,
you know, some people have said
definitely,
something. There are contradictions.
we
How many
subscribe-
contradictions? The Samajwadi Party contradicts you. The RJD contradicts you. The DMK contradicts you. You even tied up with a party in Assam and also in Bengal. You've forgotten? That says that we want to eradicate pretty much the nuisance of this Hindutva politics. Nuisance of Hindutva politics was the word.
Rahul,
So I'm just
definitely-
saying, where do we start? Anyhow, 1 minute. Let's open this up.
Quickly rebut
Politics should not-
what Mr.
you know-
Bansal said. Just
Okay,
in
but only 30
Rahul.
seconds, Sanju Verma. I
Yes.
want to bring in Dr. Ranganathan, yes,
Yes.
and also Dushyant Sridhar and Tausif Khan,
We
yes.
don't have power
Yes,
to vote for
yes.
it.
Mr.
30
Bansal,
seconds.
please. Yes, I will not take more than 30 seconds. You know, this whole narrative that why Prime Minister has not invited X, Y or Z. I will give 4 instances. You know, when the Central Vista foundation ceremony was laid down, an invite was sent to everybody, the who's who of opposition. They boycotted it en masse.
Okay, boycott
Then,
one.
Very recently, when the Sengal was placed in the parliament, you know, after the fact that Nehru, relegated it to an obscure museum, the who's who of the opposition was invited. They boycotted the Sengal ceremony.
Okay.
And very recently at the G20, all the chief ministers were invited. I want to ask Mr. Bansal, did Siddaramaiah attend? I could only see Mr. Sukhu, the chief minister of Himachal Pradesh. Did Bhupesh Singh Baghel attend? No. And the 4th instance, at the Republic Day, ceremony and the Independence Day celebrations also, Mallikarjun Kharge was invited and he feigned illness and said, I cannot attend these ceremonies because very tabiyat theek nahi hai. But he was seen
Okay.
hoisting the
So,
flag
but
at
that
the
still
Congress
doesn't.
headquarters.
Okay. 1 second. Yeah, once bitten, twice shy is what Sanju Verma is trying to say. But Bansal Saab, let's not speak over each other because otherwise we are not going to hear anyone. And if that is a strategy, then it's an unfortunate one. Please don't employ that. I beg you, sir. I will go down on my knees and I'll stand in front of you and I beg you not to speak over other panelists. You can respond when I ask you the question. If you miss out on that, then I can't help you. Please, you have an audience to convince. You don't have to convince Rahul Shiv Shankar. You have to convince millions of Indians who watch this show. So please remember that. I'm sorry I brought this up. Just a matter of etiquette. Yeah, Dr. Ranganathan, look, I just want to ask you this question. I find this a bit strange. Muhabbat is, oozing out of every Congress heart, but it doesn't seem to sort of, lube the hearts of certain Hindus. Why? Why is this?
Good evening, Rahul. First of all, I think the invitation has been extended not by the Prime Minister, but actually to the Prime Minister by the Ram Janambhoomi Trust and Mr. Champat ji. So it is not for the Prime Minister to answer why others have not been invited. I think the Ram Janambhoomi Trust needs to answer that question. But I find it very amusing that people are clamoring and asking and outraged that why DMK has not been invited to a ceremony that will reaffirm our faith in Sanatan Dharma on January 22nd next year. They want to invite a party that organized and attended a conference that wanted Sanatan Dharma eradicated. But nonetheless, this is really not the time, in my opinion, Rahul, of petty politics, tu main, invitations or not invitations and so on and so forth, because this really should be, if at all there is a moment for reflection, then this is it. Because let's just face it, the Ram temple was demolished 500 years ago. 5 empires came and went. 5. But one civilization stood its ground. Temples need to be resurrected. Those they are off, don't. Because they are Sanatan, eternal. And on January 22nd next year, faith in our civilization would once again be reaffirmed for the next 8,000 years. Rahul, when Bibi Lal and KK Muhammad, the legends, excavated the ground beneath Babri Masjid, they found not only the glorious remnants of an ancient Hindu civilization, they also revealed something deeper, something more philosophical, which is that nations weaken not because of their past, but rather by how they are taught it. And for 70 years, we have been taught to forget historical injustices. From Somnath to Kashi Vishwanath, from Babarpur to Bakhtiyarpur, from Allahabad to Aurangabad, these injustices have deliberately been made visible. as though to lionize the debasement, celebrate the humiliation. Mathura temple was demolished by Aurangzeb, and he had the idols brought to Agra to be broken and scattered under the steps of the Begum Sahib mosque so that Muslims would trod on him. Broken temple still exists. Broken idols still exist. And the irony is that the same people who have taught us to forget historical injustices, drilled this self-loathing in us, these same people want others to forget and fight historical injustices around the world. They condemn barbarians of the West either to worship like Confederacy generals, Rhodes, Churchill, Pizarro, Murray, Colston, Leopold. They celebrate their roads and buildings being renamed, their statues being brought down. But here in India, this same set of Muppets eulogize barbarians like Tipu, Aurangzeb, Babur, Khilji. It is a heady mix of hatred for Hinduism and love for jihadism. Hatred for India and love for its breakup. One must read, Rahul, the Supreme Court and the Allahabad High Court Ayodhya judgment to really understand this hatred. Leftist historians, one after another, spread so many lies that the court had to step in to blast them for their perfidy and mediocrity. They said the 50 excavated temple pillars under the Babri Dome were placed there. They said the Vishnu Hari inscription was stolen from the Lucknow Museum and brought there. They said there was a Buddhist temple there. They said there was a Jain temple there, but there was no Hindu temple underneath the dome. Ultimately, all their lies came to nothing as the court rejected all their claims and accepted that there indeed was a temple underneath the dome. In the end, civilization won. It had to. Because to me, Rahul, the mark of civilization is this unquenchable thirst of man to demand justice for his ancestors, to correct a historical wrong. For that exemplifies a continuity, an idea, a memory that can never be erased, that is worth fighting for and preserving. It makes justice greater than the sum of its parts. And that is why, Rahul, civilizations are not fleeting like empires. To demand justice for a people who are dead for hundreds of years, it is almost as though you can feel their pain, their suffering, their destruction that has transcended the limits of body and time. And that is why history is a medicine. Why catharsis is a cure. And Rahul, just 30 seconds, on January 22nd next, the inauguration of Ram Temple would be a catharsis, a deliverance of justice to my ancestors who were wronged. This concept of striving to correct a historical injustice is vital for us. It defines who we are, what civilization I am part of. That erasing my genes cannot erase my civilization, Rahul. The concept of justice is like memory. It keeps getting passed on until realized, and we have to realize it.
And you know, Dr. Ranganathan, you've described yourself on so many occasions as an atheist, but there you are. The culture runs through every one of us, and our Sanatan Dharma also embraces the atheists. Can you imagine, viewers? Here is an atheist who feels so much for this consecration of a resurrection of our Hinduness, our collective Hinduness. I'm talking about a cultural term here. I'm not talking about a religious term, because the Sanatana is an eternal view on life, viewers. It's not even a way of life. But anyhow, that's also the reason why I began tonight by saying that the darshan of Ram Lalla in his abode on his freed Janam Bhumi on January 22nd will complete the circle of justice. That's why I began by saying that. And I want to bring in Tausif Khan, and I also want to bring in Dushyant Sridhar. Tausif Khan Sahab, you know, the opposition is asking for invites to this function, this great consecration of a resurrection. But how do you issue an invite to someone like a Mamata Banerjee who took such strong exception when someone, while she was addressing a big meeting, decided to chant Jai Shri Ram? How does that work, sir? Can you please explain to our viewers why such political parties who are ashamed of people chanting Jai Shri Ram, or who believe that Ram is a myth, or who say that Ramcharitmanas should be burnt, the book itself, why should they be invited? To do what there?
You see, if a party leader from the same party, from the same BJP party, where the Bengal chief of the BJP, Dilip Ghosh, in a public platform during the TV channel Conclave had said that who is Ma Durga? He used such objectionable words that I cannot repeat. Point blank, he insulted a deity. worshipped in Bengal, revered in Bengal. Durga Puja is the biggest festival in Bengal. And he questioned the existence of Ma Durga. And if a political leader from that political party can be invited, then every other political party leaders have all the right to attend such events. A god never discriminates between the political parties and political leaders. It is the people who discriminate this. It is the people who says, no, this god is only will shower his blessing only to me and not to others. It is the political parties who run these narratives with a political aim on their mind. You see, why at this juncture, we are again trying to spread hatred. All of us, all 6 of us yes, I'm telling you why I say this. All 6 of us, all 6 of us in the panel today, none of us has witnessed demolition of a temple. But each of us have witnessed demolition of mosque in 1992, 6 December. The verdict was delivered by Supreme Court. People of India moved on. Yet we see people like Mr. Ranganathan who kept abusing, the historical figures from minority group, who kept talking all, hatred-filled things about the religious
you can rebut later. Let him finish.
Of minority. And he claims as if he is 501 years old. He saw that the particular temple was demolished. Why can we, and I know why, because I know the answer, because the election is coming. It is Mr. Ranganathan's duty to say that. But I think time has come that he must skip all this. Let us stick to fact. Let us say things which is
sir, since you are so, yes, one second, two rebuttals coming your way. Okay, 1 second, 2 rebuttals coming your way. I just want to ask you a very quick question before I get Sanju Verma to first respond to the original attack you made on a BJP leader, and then right after that, Anand Ranganathan. But a very quick one to you, Mr. Khan. Since you are today taking such an evolved position, do you condemn the DMK for saying Ram is a myth?
Who am I to condemn DMK?
Okay, let it be then.
Who am I?
The case, I rest my case.
Entitled.
So hate must flow.
Entitled.
Okay, so
Ram will not
viewers, one second.
On him.
1 second,
Anyone
yes.
who does not
Yes.
Ram will
But
not get
Tausif
from
Khan,
Ram.
I wish you had been as accommodating when Nupur Sharma said a few things. I'm sure that the Lord of every religion is as accommodating.
I am responsible for myself.
Right. So
if
you're responsible for yourself.
I will be responsible for that.
I just wanted to bring it out there, viewers,
and
that
Mr.
people
DMK
are free to... Hang on. In Mr.
Mr.
Tausif Khan's worldview, people are allowed to hate someone's deity, and not just some ordinary people. Ministers of the realm. They can say what they want to, and it's their view, and God should deal with it. Some gods should deal with it. Other gods can call upon their followers to do things and exact a certain kind of, what should one say? Anyhow, let me just first quickly get, 1 second, let me just quickly get Sanju Verma to respond on the first charge that a BJP leader, yes, just 1 second, Dr. Anganath, you'll have all the time. Don't worry, we have time on the show, luckily for us, few people. So yes, Sanju Verma, very quick one, quick rebuttal.
Yes, Rahul, it is going to be a quick rebuttal. Please don't keep emphasizing on that. I feel you put a gun to my head each time you ask me to answer a question. I just have this to say, and I meant it metaphorically, by the way. These days with, controversial debates, you never know. I just have this to say. We all know about the fact that in January 2021, as you said, Mamata Banerjee walked away in a huff during the Netaji celebrations, where the Prime Minister was sitting in close proximity. She neither had respect for the Prime Ministerial position, and she said that, Gundas are saying, Jai Shri Ram, how can they offend me? That is all in the public domain. Her, no love lost for Jai Shri Ram is well known. But I want to correct Tausif Khan. This statement by Dilip Ghosh about Ma Durga. There was an India Today conclave held in Kolkata on the 13th of February 2021. And this is there in public domain. Your research team can corroborate it. The anchor asked Mr. Dilip Ghosh his comments on Lord Rama, that is Lord Rama the Adi Purush as he is made out to be, and Dilip Ghosh said that Lord Rama was an emperor. Some consider him to be an avatar, as in an incarnation. Some consider him to be Maryada Purushottam, some consider him to be an Adi Purush, and then he went on to say that almost everybody knows the ancestry of Lord Ram, knows about the history of Lord Ram, but there are very few people, even in Kolkata and West Bengal, where Durga Puja is celebrated with pomp and gaiety, who know about the ancestry of Ma Durga. When you talk to them about Ma Durga, they will say, who is Ma Durga? And this statement was culled out, and the headlines ran, Dilip Ghosh says, who is Ma Durga? That is as juvenile as it can get from a completely insane Trinamool Congress, which has no love lost for Hindus or Jai Shri Ram bhakts by any stretch of imagination.
Okay. Let me just quickly bring in Dr. Ranganathan and Dushyant Sridhar. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, you wanted to make a point? Yeah.
Yes, no, it's very embarrassing that this absolute Hindu-phobic bigot who masquerades as a political analyst were to blow his dog whistles and come after me by saying that Anand Ranganathan wasn't there when the temple was demolished in 1528. So how is he sure that temple was demolished? Can I ask him? Was he there when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, died in 632? Then is he sure that he ascended to heaven on a winged horse? Say yes or no, if you have the guts. Were you there? Did he or did he not ascend to heaven on a winged horse? Tausif bhai, himmat hai to jawab de do. Do you believe it?
Okay, no answer.
No answer.
Silence. Look, there is a lot of silence on this debate tonight, viewers. There's a lot of selective silence also. And there is a lot of selectivity also. But Dushyant Sridhar, look, I always save the best for last because I want to ask you a question. And this is an important one. You see, many people become extremely allergic to Jai Shri Ram, the slogan. And I want to ask you, is it a communal war cry as it is made out to be? What is it exactly? What does it represent?
Namaskaram Rahul and namaskaram to my fellow panelists. To all the Astikas who are watching this show, there was a certain level of happiness in the citizens, amidst the Astikas and the citizens, when Ram returned after the 14 years of exile. This Rama Janma Bhoomi temple inauguration is happiness power N. So this is a momentous occasion for all the Astikas because after so much of turmoil, there's a beautiful temple coming up. So congratulations on that to every Astika. And secondly, Rahul, if Saint Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitar, Tunjat Ramanuja Edutachan of Kerala, Bhadrachala Ramadas of Telangana, Annamaya of Andhra, Purandaradasa, Kanakadasa, Kumara Valmiki of Karnataka, Jnanadev, Eknath, Tukaram of Maharashtra, Surdas, Mirabai, with Tulsidas, they were all to be happy. It is on that day when the temple will be inaugurated. So that is the momentous occasion when it is going to come. And coming to the question that you have asked, Jai Shri Ram, Jaya Shabdam denotes victory. Shri denotes prosperity, that is Mahalakshmi. Ramanamam, Ramayatiti Ramaha, that name which when recited brings sweetness to the tongues and to the ears that listen is called as Ram. So Jai Shri Ram, I don't know in what way it is communal, in what way it tries to insult any other religion. I do not know in which way it tries to instigate certain people and provoke people. Probably they have to write a dissertation on how it is all done. The Namam is a very simple, beautiful Namam. Now coming to the comments made by certain party spokespersons of the Dravidian parties, Rahul, I am not surprised at all. What more do you expect from people with a vicious agenda and an ideologue? And what more can you expect to be more obnoxious than the comments that they have made? They say that Rama was a myth. I will give you a quotation from one of the earliest works in the Tamil language, in the Sangam literature. It says, Araikku amai marabin midattu yaakku nagarum, midattu amai marabin araikku yaakku nagarum, kaduteral Ramanudan punar Sitayai. It talks about a Chola king who after his victory gives away a lot of jewelry to the poet. The poet goes and distributes it amongst his family members. When they are quite confused what to put and what not to put in the jewelry, the poet says in Purananuru, which is a work when most other Western religions were not born and most other Western scriptures were not written. He says that they were struggling to put the jewelry on themselves, like how the monkeys who were struggling to put the jewelry when Sita threw while she was being abducted in the Pushpaka Vimana. So the existence of Rama, the importance of Ramayanam has been there in the earliest Sangam text. If at all there is one language that completely adheres to the Ramayana, it is the Tamil text. And what do you expect of the Dravidian party spokesmen who have absolutely not even an iota of the knowledge of all these scriptures? And finally, I had just one point to make, Rahul. I heard a few comments made against Professor Anand Ranganathan. And it was also hinted that since the elections were coming, he would be paid well if he spoke well. I am sure he is the most qualified in the panel and he doesn't need money from parties to run his family. So if at all he has made his comments, he has made it vociferously, but none of it were hurting or disparaging against any community or belief. So it is very wrong to actually accuse someone and personally attack someone. My point is, Rama Janmabhoomi is a momentous occasion. I am very, very happy.
I'm glad that you said so, because Dr. Ranganathan has actually distributed the royalties of his book among those who are the most needy from the Sanatana. So first of all, Dr. Ranganathan, for that act of selflessness, you should be commended. Anyhow, there are many people, viewers, who will take jibes, and I think that the classiest way of handling a jibe is by asking a question that can't be answered, and I think we saw that just a short while back. But viewers, I'm going to go into a quick break and then return. Very important question. I'm going to leave by saying, how can you preach politics of love but tolerate those who practice hate? That's fundamental, viewers. Anyhow, we are coming back in just a few moments after this short break with another very important story and another very important question. Don't go away.
Hello, Moto.
के देते हैं या कोई मुद्दा सोच के देते हैं?
नहीं मैडम, ऐसा नहीं है। वो क्या है, आदमी देख के देना पड़ता है। क्या जो काम किए हुए है ना। रमन सिंह के राज में बहुत काम हुए थे।
जैसे एक दो काम बताइए।
बहुत से गरीबों को मशीन वगैरह, साइकिल वगैरह देना, और गरीबों को कई पैसे मिले हैं, है ना।
और बघेल सरकार में क्या नहीं हुआ जो आपको उम्मीद थी होगा और नहीं हुआ?
वो कुछ नहीं मैडम, अब क्या बोले जाए उसके में, उतना नहीं हुआ काम, है ना।
ऑलराइट, सो एटलीस्ट इन दिस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे? कैसे चुनाव में हो रहा है, क्या मुद्दे हैं यहाँ के लोगों के? कुछ ऐसा स्पेसिफिक है, जैसे महंगाई हो गया, बेरोजगारी हो गया, या डेवलपमेंट?
महंगाई और बघेल जी ने महंगाई को और बढ़ावा दिया है। रमन सरकार आएगी तो उस हिसाब से उनको मुख्यमंत्री के पद में चुना जाएगा।
So at least in his home turf, Raman Singh, it seems, has managed to gain support for his candidature. But the rest of Chhattisgarh, people here are unsure as to how rest of Chhattisgarh is really voting. बताइए पूर्वा, वोट देने जब जाएंगी तो नेता का चेहरा देख के वोट देंगी या आपके कुछ मुद्दे हैं जो सोच कर आप वोट देंगी?
नहीं, नेता का चेहरा देख के तो बिल्कुल नहीं देंगे।
नहीं देंगे। तो क्या मुद्दे हैं आपके? आपने अभी पढ़ाई पूरी की होगी।
हाँ।
तो क्या आपके क्या मुद्दे होंगे जिसको सोच के आपने कुछ सोचा है? क्या सोच के?
नहीं, अभी तक तो कुछ नहीं सोचा है।
दोस्तों में बातचीत नहीं हो रही? पहली बार वोटर दे रहे?
नहीं।
अच्छा, आप बताइए मुद्दे क्या होंगे आपके?
अभी तो सोचा नहीं है।
नौकरी, क्या आप लोग सोचते हैं कि नौकरी आगे करनी है?
हाँ, करनी है, पर अभी उतना पढ़ाई पूरी नहीं हुई है, तो जब तक के
क्या करती हैं?
मैं बीएससी कर रही हूँ।
तो बीएससी की पढ़ाई, यहाँ पे हायर एजुकेशन का सिस्टम अच्छा है? राजनांदगांव में कॉलेजेस, यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं अच्छी?
हाँ है ना, अच्छी है।
अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटीज
हाँ।
ओके, आपने नौकरी के बारे में आगे सोचा है, क्या करना चाहती हैं आगे पढ़ाई के बाद? पढ़ाई के बाद क्या करना चाहती है, कुछ सोचा है?
हाँ।
क्या करना चाहती है?
जॉब करेंगे,
किस टाइप की जॉब, सरकारी या प्राइवेट?
जो भी सुटेबल लगे।
तो यहाँ प्राइवेट जॉब्स का मार्केट है। राजनांदगांव में जो लड़के लड़कियाँ पढ़ लेते हैं, ग्रेजुएशन कर लेते हैं, प्राइवेट नौकरियाँ मिल जाती है यहाँ?
हाँ मिल जाती है, मतलब कंप्यूटर ऑपरेटर, लाइक बहुत सारा जॉब है यहाँ, बहुत
जॉब है।
हाँ।
तो गवर्नमेंट जॉब के लिए ऐसी कोई आप लोगों को दिक्कत नहीं है, क्योंकि सरकारी नौकरी के लिए बहुत सारे लड़के कहते हैं कि हमको सरकारी नौकरी चाहिए। आपके साथ ऐसा नहीं
है।
ओके। और बाकी कोई और इशू, महिला सुरक्षा, आप लोग सिक्योर फील करती हैं, खुद से स्कूटी चलाती हैं तो?
हाँ बिल्कुल,
सिक्योरिटी वो है, आप भी सिक्योर
हाँ,
फील करती हैं? बिल्कुल। ओके, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगी मैडम, महंगाई के बारे में, गैस सिलेंडर के दाम के बारे में?
क्या कहेंगे मैडम, हमें तो आप गैस दिया ही नहीं है, मोदी सरकार दूंगा करके कह लिया, धर के फोटो खिंचा लिया, हमें दिया ही नहीं है। पंचायत में बुला के फोटो खिंचा लिया, मकान के नाम भी आया, फिर भी इस मकान के हमको पैसा नहीं मिल रहा है, बार बार घुमाते हैं, क्या करें, हम परेशान हैं, हम ओकरे वजह से हमारा तबीयत खराब हो रहा है।
तो जब वोट देंगी तो ये सब सोच के वोट देंगी?
हाँ सोच के वोट देंगे ना, हमें नहीं देता।
Viewers, the Lok Sabha's Ethics Committee has conducted its first hearing on the cash for query scandal involving TMC MP Mahua Moitra. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey, who assumed the role of a whistleblower initially, and advocate J. who Mahua Moitra described as a jilted ex, appeared before the committee to present oral evidence. Moitra has been accused of providing her login details to businessman Darshan Hiranandani to pose questions to the government in exchange for expensive gifts. That's the allegation. Hiranandani has confirmed the same in a sworn affidavit before this very panel. Beyond the breach of parliamentary rules, this has raised questions over the breach of national security, as Hiranandani is a Dubai-based tycoon. The committee has summoned Mahua Moitra on October 31st at 11 a.m. to answer to some of these charges. Meanwhile, the NIC is likely to submit its report on the logins in connection to Moitra's accounts in the next couple of days. While the TMC MP claims vendetta politics for raising questions against the government, the TMC has not backed her so far. Let's open this up, viewers. I have with me the BJP Sanju Verma, the national spokesperson, and also a TMC sympathizer, Mr. Tausif Khan, who stays on with us. Very quickly to you, Mr. Khan, straightforward question. The TMC has not come out in defense of Mahua Moitra, number one. Number two, this story is a grave one because an easily verifiable fact like login taking place from another geolocation would prove whether Mahua Moitra is guilty of abetting in a breach of national security. Do you believe that the TMC's decision not to back her and the gravity of the charges are linked?
No, TMC has taken a very right approach. The matter concerns with the privileges and rights of the member of parliament, and she is very well capable of clarifying her positions and defending all the charges alleged against her. And now she has been called before the committee and she will go and present her version. We cannot ignore the fact that all of this is started from her jilted ex, as she is chosen to describe him, Mr. Jai Shri. And it is a very established norm that in equity, if you go before any forum, and especially in this case also, it applies when someone is going before the ethics committee with a complaint against a member of parliament, then he must come with clean hands. When I say clean hands, then it means that you must not have any other motive, any other hidden motive. Now, in this case, clearly, it seems that there is the people have not come with clean hands. He is an jilted ex. He had nothing to do with BJP. Now he is seen hobnobbing with BJP MP all the time. and there is political angle to it.
Okay. Fine. So
an
very quickly, I just want to ask you,
MP.
Tawseef Khan, you said, I'm just bringing you in 1 second. Tawseef Khan, just a quick clarification, because you said that, TMC believes that she's an MP appearing before an August parliamentary panel. Of course, that's true, and she's capable of defending herself. But isn't it strange that every other political party has ignored that red line, has willingly come out and spoken in her defense, but the TMC hasn't? Just very quickly, sir.
Because she's a member of TMC party.
Right, fair enough.
And
so other MPs, other politicians have come out and said she's a victim of a witch hunt, except for her own party, and we're expected to think that that is because
a senior TMC leader also has spoken in his favor, in her favor.
So they are basically
a member of.
They are basically
Mayor of Calcutta
respecting the Maryada of Parliament. Okay, very quickly, let me bring in the BJP national spokesperson, Sanju Verma. This is an orchestrated witch hunt, says Mr. Khan.
Okay. Rahul, I will need at least 2 minutes, because you keep saying very quickly,
yes,
Okay. I just have this to say. Point number 1, let's be very clear that the P.K. Bansal committee, way back in 2005, had disqualified 11 MPs, out of which 10 were from the Lok Sabha and 1 was from the Rajya Sabha.
That's right.
And at that time, the Congress said that if the Ethics Committee or the Privilege Committee decides that MPs need to be disqualified or removed or suspended, baat khatam. So point number 1, the Ethics Committee under Vijay Sonkar, if it decides or if the matter again goes to the Privilege Committee, there is a hearing on the 31st of October. The Ethics Committee has sought inputs from the Home Ministry as well. Then let us understand that we need to respect parliamentary procedures. You can't raise a finger and say, "Arey, the Ethics Committee is headed by Vijay Sonkar of the Bharatiya Janata Party and they have an axe to grind." No, sir, we have no axe to grind because Mahua Moitra has not covered herself in glory. And I'll tell you why. Point number 1. You keep referring to Jai Anand Dehadrai as a jilted lover. I say forget the jilted lover bit. The fact that he's also a respectable advocate at the Supreme Court of India, forget that for a minute. My point is that when Jai Anand Dehadrai categorically said that Mahua Moitra was blackmailing him to withdraw his complaint with the CBI, and when Mahua Moitra's counsel Gopal Sankara Narayanan was asked, is this true? Was Mahua Moitra, your client, forcing Jai Anand Dehadrai to forego his complaint with the CBI against Ms. Moitra? Gopal Sankara Narayanan, Mahua Moitra's lawyer, said yes, she was arm twisting Jai Anand Dehadrai. When is the last time you heard that a member of parliament's own legal counsel actually withdraw from the case, citing extenuatingly embarrassing circumstances?
Okay.
Point number 1. And just give me 30 seconds more. Point number 2. The moment Darshan Hiranandani came up with his affidavit, I remember Mahua Moitra said, what is the use of this affidavit? It just has a signature on a blank piece of paper. If it is not notarized, it does not have legal sanctity. Within 24 hours, Darshan Hiranandani notarized his affidavit, which means a notarized affidavit clearly saying that Mahua Moitra breached parliamentary processes by sharing her login and password with Mr. Hiranandani, who then accessed it from foreign soil based in Dubai and gave questions on Adani to Mahua Moitra, and she asked these questions with a quid pro quo of wait a minute, not simply getting a bag or perfumes. I don't care about her Louis Vuitton bag or her Hermes or Henry.
Right.
I am certainly not impressed by the fact that this lady who keeps screeching and howling like a banshee.
Well, viewers, the time is up on the debate. The matter is now before. Fair enough. The matter is now before the panel. Let's see what the panel has to say. 30th October is an important date. We'll be there, of course. I'll leave it at this. Coming up, The Right Stand with Anand Narasimhan. Don't go away.
Co-powered by
History has shown that the road to Raipur often goes through Bastar. Even in the last assembly election, the clean sweep in Bastar's 12th seat had a huge role to play in the landslide victory that Bhupesh Baghel registered in the Chhattisgarh assembly. This assembly elections, BJP is trying to hard sell its dream of Naxal-free, secure Chhattisgarh to woo the tribals. Bhupesh Baghel, on his part, is promising them more welfare measures, more direct benefit transfers. Who will really manage to woo them finally will be known on 3rd of December. But it's clear to both sides that if Bastar and Chhattisgarh comes out to vote without fear or favour, that'll be the biggest victory. One of the VIP constituencies going to polls this time is Rajnandgaon, the home turf of Raman Singh. Even though as an MLA he has chosen Kavardha, the people of this area think that R in Rajnandgaon actually stands for Dr. Raman. So what are the issues in this VIP constituency? What are the people thinking? How much development has really happened in the 15 years that Dr. Raman Singh was in power? And did Rajnandgaon suffer after Bhupesh Baghel took the Chief Minister's chair? Let's speak to people in this constituency. What's the mood like in Raman Singh's constituency in Rajnandgaon market? A group of people here with us. कैसा है माहौल है? क्या मुद्दा है?
मैडम डॉक्टर साहब जो है ना, वो तो विधायक ही हैं और मुख्यमंत्री पूर्व थे, और आगे अगर पार्टी आ जाती है तो निश्चित रूप से मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे। लेकिन राजनांदगांव का जो विकास कार्य जो हुआ है ना, डॉक्टर जी को बिल्कुल सब स्मरण करते हैं, याद करते हैं। तो इस हिसाब से उनका बेस तो बना हुआ है। और इनके अगेंस्ट में जैसा गिरीश देवांगन जी आ गए कांग्रेस से, है ना, हालांकि जैसा भी है उनका भी शासन सत्ता है उनका, लेकिन उनका भी ठीक है, लेकिन उनको मेहनत करना पड़ेगा मैडम, क्योंकि अनेक कार्यकर्ताओं से और सभी समाज वालों से, मुख्य लोगों से मिलना बहुत जरूरी है और रूबरू मिलना जरूरी है मैडम, तभी उनका थोड़ा सा लेवल आएंगे मैडम।
अच्छा ये बताइए, ये चुनाव भूपेश बघेल बनाम रमन सिंह है या भूपेश बघेल बनाम नरेंद्र मोदी है?
ये तो छत्तीसगढ़ के हिसाब से तो बड़ा यहाँ का चुनाव माहौल समझ में नहीं आ रहा है ना, कि वैसे तो भूपेश बघेल का पर गाँव वाले लोग से सुनते हैं ना, तो जितने भी खेती किसानी वाले हैं वो लोग ज़्यादा महत्व उनको दे रहे हैं, है ना, भूपेश बघेल को। अब आगे देखो क्या रिजल्ट आता है इसका, है ना। और वैसे रमन सिंह भी अपने हिसाब से अपने पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री रह चुके हैं हर 3 बार, तो यहाँ की जो विशेषता ज़्यादा है उसके ऊपर रुझान ज़्यादा जा रहा है रमन सिंह। हाँ,
रमन सिंह जी के रहते राजनांदगांव में तो काफ़ी कुछ बदला होगा क्योंकि ये उनका गृह क्षेत्र है। छत्तीसगढ़ में उनके रहते क्या बदला और भूपेश बघेल के आने से क्या फ़र्क है?
मैडम जी, जैसे बात रही कांग्रेस और बीजेपी, ये अपने अपने स्तर पे काम करते हैं, उसका तो कोई ये नहीं रहा, लेकिन एक्चुअल में राजनांदगांव की किस्मत शुरू से खराब रही। अब मैं बताना चाहूँगा, इससे पहले भी बीते हुए 5 साल
Namaste, Jai Hind and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. In a big relief to farmers before the Rabi season, the centre has approved a subsidy for phosphatic and potassic fertilizers. Cost to the exchequer for this subsidy is estimated to be over 22,000 crore rupees, and this decision comes despite a global increase in fertilizer prices. Meanwhile, the adoption of the national pension system by employees of central and state governments has increased to a 5-month high in August. This signals accelerated hirings in the public sector. The latest NPS data released by the National Statistical Office also showed that the number of new monthly subscribers collectively increased by 22% in August. HMD Global, the maker of Nokia devices, has said that it will launch smartphones under its own brand in the first half of the calendar year of 2024, and they said that the launch would be first in India, which will be a priority market. The company added that they would also have an India-first approach for the HMD branded devices, including smartphones. and Bharat has achieved a historic medal haul at the Asian Para Games, surpassing its 2018 tally of 72 medals, at least 16 gold in its kitty. And Bharat is not done yet. The games are still underway. PM Modi has congratulated every single athlete for their grit and determination that has brought glory to the nation. And we set up the first debate tonight on this edition of The Right Stand, ladies and gentlemen. Ram Lala will be Virajman. The Pran Pratishtha will happen on the 22nd of January. The members of the Ram Mandir, Ram Janmabhoomi Trust